going on, everybody? Good morning, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. We'll wait a minute for everyone to roll in. No entries for me so far on anything. No trades for me so far. Just watching the market, seeing what's going on. We just saw STSS come up with some news. Absolutely incredible pop. And just going nonstop. Really no pullbacks to be able to take an entry here. Maybe right here for scalps, but like actually accumulating a full size position. There was no entry so far, but yeah, for scalps, not bad. And we'll go over this really quick on why it wasn't bad for scalps in just a minute, just to let people in first. In like 30 seconds. Yep. All right, El Mario said a Thursday stream. That means he hasn't been joining and he doesn't know that this week we have a stream every single day. That means he hasn't been joining. We got the memo. Anyway, yeah, hopefully today is better than yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit slow for me. Lucy made a crazy pop. Let's check out Lucy really quick. Lucy made a crazy pop yesterday, and I just took no trades on it, no execution for me. And no execution for me, although the levels were perfect. We went over the pre-market stream yesterday, the levels, right? This was the level to bounce off of, and this was the resistance level that we marked out yesterday. You can go back to the stream and check it out. But you guys can see that it eventually made this level of support and made that massive move up. I was not able to execute on it. I got chopped up yesterday. You guys can see right here that yesterday I posted about Lucy, right? I said that I want that dip to 0.7. I want the dip to 0.7, right? And then that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened today. If you go back to this right here, you guys can see it touch 0.7, which is that order block right here, and then made that move up. So I was watching Lucy, still no execution for me, but just want to tell you guys that, you know, profitable traders do have tougher days as well. I missed the whole move on Lucy. This should have easily been a $20,000, $30,000 trade for me, but wasn't able to execute on it. So all good, but well, yeah, that's why I haven't taken any trades today, right? I'm just being patient, waiting for that one to come to me. And we'll go over STSS first. I mentioned that this was probably just good for a scalp on the pops and not really a massive run. You know, you couldn't really accumulate size here because there was no real pullbacks. Now you guys can see, why is this a decent entry for a scalp? So where does liquidity sit? Above highs and below lows, right? We know liquidity sits above highs and below lows. Now you see we have a high of day break right here, right? We have a high of day, so we attemption of grabbing liquidity right here, and then boom. So what happens here? After we break this high, what typically happens, like we go over every single day, is we see a liquidity sweep, and then we see a massive drawdown, right? And then we target this low. But what happened on STSS is that it did not start to have a lot of selling pressure, although it tried to start, but then buyers stepped in very freshly. So this tells us that, hey, once we reclaim this low, so now this is going to remain the low. So this is the high and this is the low, because why? Now this is a new structure. So first it was 67.38 to 40 cents, which was the structure on STSS. But now the structure is from 72 to the low of 63 after we reclaim this level. That makes sense? So we have structure here, a new structure. Typically what happens, like we went over yesterday, it just starts dumping, targets the low, or some liquidity on the daily or whatever. But in this scenario, it reclaimed the same exact level that it was low. So this is why it would be a good scalp. You take a little entry here at 63.09, you target 72, which is a nice 10-cent profit, and then you start to scale off on the way up. So that's why I mentioned that it could be a good scalp. But yeah, for longs, not really a big accumulation position potential. Let's see now. Let's see what we have here on the daily. So what are we looking for here on the daily? We always look for high volume significant levels, right, with either big drawdowns or just massive move up. So obviously we have a high volume candle. This stock ran not too long ago, a few days ago. So STSS, we have the high here. We have a level right here, which was the candle open high. Sorry, the candle open high volume, and then right here. These are all the significant levels, right? Because this is the highest volume on the daily right now. We'll go over all the stocks, guys, that you guys are mentioning in chat. But I just want to go over the stocks that I'll be trading. So we have a high here, and then we have this level. So obviously the high volume candles, right? That's what we're looking for, key levels. So now let's go drop down to the smaller time frame. As you guys can see, where are we rejecting? We're rejecting that same exact level, 82. And if you go back to the daily, where is that? That is the high volume key daily level, right? So that's what we're rejecting right now. So what do we want to see? Now, what can happen here is either a liquidity grab to the upside and start to move down. What I want to see here is right now we're sitting around 73. Okay, right now we're sitting around here. I want to see it dip below this high volume candle close, or sorry, candle open. Dip below it, grab stop losses, okay, and start to make that move up, back up to 82. This is a potential scenario. So on the smaller time frame, it would look something like this. It would look something like this, okay? And if this scenario, mark out the key levels, 68, 76, 82. Mark out these key levels with me if you guys want. So if this scenario does not play out, if this level does not hold, then what would I be looking for? Probably down to that 51.48. Now what's going to happen is that more people are going to try to take entries here. But just because I know that there's a high volume key level here, I feel I have a higher probability trade set up here rather than taking it right away here. So, I mean, I would look for a liquidity sweep below this low, but I know that there's a high volume key level here. This is higher probability setup. So first trade that we want to take on STSS is after a liquidity sweep for this scenario, or a dip back down right here, okay? Something like this. These are the two scenarios in STSS that I would be looking for. And I drew these out right in front of you. And obviously, these are levels that I'm watching. So you guys can, obviously, no, I'm not buying right off the level, right? I'm waiting for liquidity grabs. I'm waiting for confirmation. I'm going to be watching volume. I'm watching the tape, watching level 2. Just asked why this level. I think you probably joined late. So go back to the stream after it's done and check out why we got all these levels so you guys can learn. If you're here and you haven't seen why we got these levels and you're just now tuning in, you guys can check it out after the stream. It's actually pretty helpful for you. What's next? HLTH is a penny stock that's also, has some volume. We'll get rid of these. Looks like this has been running since what? Yes, pre-market today. Okay, so HLTH, initial pop here, right? Initial pop coming from 6 cents. Not that much buying pressure, not that much buying volume. But for sellers, right, there was a lot of selling pressure. So, okay, perfect example of that. Perfect example. On STSS, what did we just see? On STSS, we saw a high break, right? We saw the high break, dip and this is what we saw in STSS. High break right here, and then this was the low. So we saw it break the low and reclaim the low. But on HLTH, there's no reclaim of this level. Let me show you guys what I mean. We just talked about on STSS. We have a liquidity grab right here, right? Which is pretty much the same high right here. And then we break over. Now the difference between this is that this candle closed over and this candle closed under. So what happened is we made a low here, reclaimed the low, and then made that move up. Over here, we had not reclaimed this low, and then we made that move down. So what was this? A liquidity grab. You guys understand why? Break the highs. This is where orders are sitting. Move down to lows. Break the highs. This is where orders are sitting. Move down to lows. All right. So what am I looking for here now? I mean, ONMD. HLTH. I don't know. I feel like it has to break these lows. Now, right now, it's in between no man's land. It wasn't a terrible trade setup earlier, right? It wasn't actually a nice trade setup. I was watching it at the time just to see how it plays out. And it played out nicely. But we have not broken any lows. That's the issue here. We have yet to break this 62 low. We have yet to break any of these lows to grab liquidity. Now, one thing that I might look for is like towards 76, right? This is where we have shorts covering. This is where the initial pop started. This is where buyers started stepping in, right? Lower volume, and then we step towards highs. So we have very low volume, higher. So that means buyers start to step in at this level. So I'm watching both of these levels. Now, this is not a high confidence trade setup. It's not like A+ for me, just because we're not breaking lows, but I would still watch it and to these levels. But I'm not super confident in that one. ONMD though. Let's check out ONMD. We went over the key levels yesterday. Someone actually asked about this yesterday. And we said that we want to see it break 160. That was our level. We want to see it break below 160 for a move back up to 240. Sadly, it never broke 160, and it went to 240 and 280s without us. But I mean, it's still, cool, nice trade opportunities. But 240, you guys can see 240 just right off the bat is clear supply, right? 240, we have clear resistance right here. Candle close, which made that massive move down. Candle close, which made that massive move down. Rejection right here, massive move down. So this 240 area has now flipped into massive support. Now that this area has flipped into support, all this is going to be buying pressures. You guys can see how big 240 resistance was, right? Resistance. All this was like, come here, boom. Come here, boom. Come here, boom. After we have broken this level, we have now tested it into being support, right? So now what we're looking for is just this old zone. We're looking for this old zone to flip into support down to 253. Okay, 253 is like, okay, we have buying pressure here, we have old resistance flipping into new support, and we have clear levels here, right? On the day also on the day we have buyers stepping in. We have a low here at 254, and then we have buyers stepping in. So this is also considered a protected candle. This is a candle that made the new high. So someone asked about what is a protected candle. Protected candle is a candle that has a low and then makes a new high with significant volume. Okay, so this candle broke below all these levels. So this is a very significant candle for us. So we're going to mark out this level, right? Obviously previous supply zone, and we're now broken over, flipping a demand, looking for a trade entry off of right here. 250s. All right. MNTS has a PR, looks like. Let me check out the PR. MNTS. I don't see it. Anyway, whatever. All right, so pop right here started. We have what? What is this? What is this so far? Let me know. Everyone in chat. We just went over it twice on stocks. Everyone should know by now, if you guys are paying attention. What's going on here on MNTS? Every single person on the stream should know what's going on here now. If you guys have been here for the past 20 minutes, I don't care about yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever. What's going on here? We just went over on the past 2 stocks. We have a high, we break the high, come down. What is this? Every single person. Every single person. What's going on here? Have you guys been paying attention? All right, so now that everyone knows that this is a liquidity grab, every single person here knows now that this is a liquidity grab. So does it make sense to buy breakouts? I know the reason why I'm asking you guys to say it in chat is because there's a lot of people either in this chat or just in general who are unprofitable simply because they buy breakouts. And they see a high here, they're like, okay, let me buy this breakout. What happens? You become liquidity. You are quite literally liquidity for the move down. And then it grabs liquidity to the downside. You think that it's going to start dumping, reclaims, hits your stop loss, and then starts to run up again. And then what happens is that it starts to run. You buy again at the breakout, and then it fails. And then boom, you get stopped out down here again. And then it runs back up and you chase again. You buy the breakout, you become liquidity again. That's how range trading works. So instead of buying breakouts, what is this? A false breakout. This is a false breakout. It broke out, but it's a false breakout. So what do you want to look for on the downside? This is where shorts enter. This is where liquidity is grabbed. So what do you want to look for on the downside? If this is a false breakout, and it made a massive move to the downside, what do you want to look for? If you're taking a long entry. Any ideas what we would look for on the backside? We look for a false breakdown. Since this is a false breakout, we look for a false breakdown. So what do we want to see here? We want to see it. So we have a high here, right? We break out of this high. We false breakout, boom. So we have a low. Now what we want to see is a false breakout to the downside. False break, trap shorts. Shorts think we're going to make a move. You grab their liquidity. That makes sense? False breakdown. Does that make sense? If this is a false breakout and we're getting trapped and there's a massive move, same thing has to happen on the opposite end. So that's what you guys want to look for in your trades. Now, I'm not in MNTS. I'm just saying how the chart should play out. Right now, it should start heading back up just because there was a liquidity grab. Now, maybe we see a bigger liquidity grab because it wasn't that big compared to this right here. But you guys get the point, right? There's a lot of people who just chase the breakouts and then they get stopped out at the low. And then, you want to see a fake breakdown before the massive move up. Is that clear? Let me know. Yes or no in chat. Is that clear? The whole understanding of fake breakout, fake breakout, fake breakdown, and just understanding liquidity, why you shouldn't chase, and focusing on better entries. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Yes, this is the fake breakdown on MNTS, right? We have a low. What happened? What happened on MNTS? We broke below that low. Just like over here, we have a high. We broke above the high, grab liquidity, boom, move down. What happened here? You have a low. Act like you're coming down. Fake low, fake breakdown. You grab liquidity and then boom. There you go. Matt said real-time example. Literally in front of y'all. This is not no hindsight crap. That's what I mean too. When I showed you guys the Lucy picture, this is the tweet that I mentioned. I said, it literally doesn't get better than this. No hindsight BS before it all happens. We mentioned about Lucy that it's coming down to 68.90 to 70 yesterday, right? Hold this the level near 70 will be an entry for 1 plus. That's exactly what happened. Pull back to 70 for an entry to 1 plus. You guys can see that's exactly what's happening. Now, no entries for me on anything so far. So I don't want you guys to think I'm an MNTS, but just watching it happen live. Now, what would I look for in MNTS? I would look for one more liquidity grab a little bit bigger, reclaim, and then set that move back up probably for like 78 and to that 83 cents. Okay? That's what I'll be looking for. Let's check out the daily. Is there anything significant? There's a lot going on in the daily, so I'm going to go to the weekly. There's still a lot going on in the weekly, so let's drop to the monthly. We'll work our way down. Love it. One thing I love about the weekly right off the bat is that our 65 level aligns with a lower wick on the monthly. Now, this tells me that, hey, if we grab liquidity below this 66, 67 level, we have room back up to $1. Why $1? Because that's where the candle that's where the candle closes. So we opened here, came down all the way to 67 and reclaimed to 101. So it might not go to 1 today, it might go to 1 tomorrow. So this could potentially be a multi-day runner. So now we're going to look for 66.7 hold. We're going to look for something like this. Okay. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But that's just where liquidity is sitting. So we're going to look for the 67 hold on MNTS. And then get that setup going. Is that clear? You guys understand? I'm picking up some MNTS right now. I just grabbed some. Thing looks primed. I think we head back towards 83 real quick. You guys saw the levels off the weekly, or sorry, the monthly. Yeah, we should be able to head back towards 84, 85 in just about a minute. Let's see what happens. Let's watch it live. We have VWAP at 74, 75. Any other questions you guys have that you guys want me to go over? Meanwhile, we'll just kind of wait for MNTS. We have like 10 minutes before I go back to the Discord, so we'll just live trade for a minute or two. Yeah, so stops on MNTS would be right under 67. That's where you would look for. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at, Harris just asked about SMFL in the Discord, so meanwhile, we'll look at that. My brokerage is Webull. I use Webull. All right, so SMFL. We have a structure. This is more so like a structure setup. We have a low here, right? We have clean support, right? 1, 2, 3 bounces. We break below. We come back and hold previous highs. And now we're reclaiming this structure. So I think this is a very bullish setup because we're reclaiming this structure. What you want to look for is potentially more pullbacks towards 711 for that move back up to like 780s. But I think that's a nice setup on SMFL. Let's see, we should be able to break out over VWAP here on MNTS. I'll let you guys know when I grab some on pullbacks. What else is running? See what the stocks are doing. STSS. All right, STSS kind of coming out to play from the weekly. Remember we came out with the weekly line here, 68.76 from the weekly, or sorry, from the daily. This was a high volume key level. Let's lower it down to the exact T. That's what it's coming down to right now, so not a bad setup on STSS. Looking to see this structure hold now. So we break below the structure, reclaim, and now I'm looking for this structure hold here. There you go. I picked up a little bit more MNTS here. Should be able to break the review up. All right, what is huge pullback MNTS? I don't know what huge is for you. But yeah, STSS, you guys see the level working out perfectly live to the T. Nice. You guys see that? How we're moving from level to level? 68.22. Yeah, I don't know. Huge pullback on MNTS. That's not a huge pullback. It's like 2 cents. Yeah, got about like 2 more minutes before I do hop in the live stream. But yeah, I'm just chilling here, live trading with y'all. We'll see what else we find. STSS. You guys see this level playing out perfectly live, right? Why do we get this level? From the daily chart, high volume key level. Now we're going to target back up to 82. That's where liquidity is sitting at. MNTS struggling against VWAP. All right, so as long as my 66.54 level holds, I'll be holding MNTS. Once it breaks under that, I will stop out. Let's see what's going on. Oh, wow, big crackdown. It's all live. I don't lie about shit. You guys see that's live. Anyway, I'm still here. Like I said, I'm looking for that liquidity grab. Anyway, I'll manage my position, but I know exactly what happened here. And I'll explain it in the Discord. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Come live trade with me, and we'll find some bangers. We'll hit a nice day. We'll call it a day. You guys saw the levels that we went over. Still looking at MNTS for liquidity sweep at this 66.5 level. Remember, level is from the weekly. From the monthly. We're looking at SMFL. We're looking to see this pullback into 711. Sweep below that. Right, that was a structure. We have ONMD, which we're looking for pullbacks down to 250, hopefully. Remember, this was the 5-minute big resistance supply zone flip into support. Right? What else? We had... what else did we go over? HLTH, I wasn't a huge fan, but you guys know the levels of that now. STSS. All right, we're looking for STSS held pretty nicely here off of 68. Room back up to 82.5. So those are the watches for today. Still watching MNTS as well for that sweep, and then we'll see how stock set up, and we'll make some nice trades today. All right. So other than that, I hope you guys have a nice trading day. Best of luck to you guys. I'm about to hop in the Discord right now. If you guys want to join with me, check out the link right here or the top link in the bio. It's for free, 7 days. And we're going to kill it today. So other than that, it's been Minnie. I'll see you guys in the next stream tomorrow. Peace.